doing, Buckets?
I'm fantastic. I'm better now. It's been a tough couple months here, but I'm better now, Ian. You're here. I've got producer Jeff here. I've got people that can finally stop tweeting at me saying, Buckets, when is Stoppage? It's here. We're back. That's what matters. I'm just happy to be here, man. How are you?
I'm good. Let me just check in on you, though, before we talk about
Yeah.
me and what's been going on. I just want to make sure everything's going good in your world. Like, what you been up to? I mean, it's been a busy summer for you. You've been very active.
I'm always active. Wink, right? We got to kind of bring the vibes here on the show. No, I've been very busy trying to just create a future for myself a little bit here. I've been grinding a lot on morning footy. I've been on the Golazo network 2 or 3 times a week for the last couple of months, even during international break, which is tough. I'm learning. It's hard to bet during the international break at times here, but the work is going well. I'm traveling to Stamford later this week for Champions League. I get to see you in studio. I'm just on that grind, man. Same as always. You know how it goes.
And dare I ask,
Oh
how's the
no.
love life?
It's good. It's good. I it's love life is good. I for
Yeah.
some reason I'm so used to being like that. It's not. It's fine. No, it's good. I'm happy. We're still together. God bless her. Sure, her guinea pig was sick, so we spent the last 10 days with the guinea pig in the hospital, which is tough. But we're good. We're happy
I'm glad the guinea pig's okay. I'm glad you're not the one in hospital this time around,
for
and the
once.
love life is going well. Quick update. So, me and Buckets have been pretty active, obviously. We've been very busy. So, apologies to all you loyal listeners out there who have been demanding stoppage time. We've been busy. Summer's been fun. I took a long time off.
Yeah,
I
you
took
did.
some time to vacation in Montana, Utah. I went over to Edinburgh, Glasgow, London, Paris with the family. Hot Coco's been enjoying the time off, but now we're back. The kids are back in school finally, and I'm back in the studio like pretty much 24/7. I'm also doing some Major League Soccer, which has been really awesome calling games again. And I got to catch up with my good friends John Bucket Imer in fucking Columbus. That was great to see you, by the way, and I really enjoyed Columbus. I hadn't been to Columbus in 17 years. So it was
Wow.
nice to be back. It's changed a lot.
It's yeah, for you. I've only been here for what, a year and a half, 2 years now. So for me, it's all still brand new and exciting. But dude, it was so much fun seeing you. I like we do all the shows together, and it's always great to talk on the phone, but it's just different when you're sitting at this or the sushi table, sitting across from each other, pounding back Sapporos, just having a good time. Dude, I loved it. It was so good seeing you again.
Yeah, great to see you too, buddy, as well. And that stadium in Columbus is absolutely
So nice.
unbelievable. Major League Soccer is a lot different from what it was like when I was playing it back in the day, which was a Wednesday. We got a Champions League special for all you loyal listeners out there. We'll chat shit a little bit later on after the show is actually recorded. We've got obviously Champions League back, which is absolutely beautiful. For those betting lovers out there, this one is exactly what you're looking for. We're going into the group stage format once again. Buckets is obviously a new format. Under this new format, the teams will play 8 matches in a new league phase. Obviously, it started last season. We're going into the second year of this new format, which is quite crazy. You will play obviously home games or away games, but it's random draws. So you don't play home and away games against the same opponent in the same group now. It's randomly drawn. You'll play random opponents, and all of a sudden, out of 8 games that you will fucking play against, you will actually figure out where you sit at the top of the table. So the layout is like this. The top 8 sides of the league will qualify automatically to the round of 16. So you want to be in the top 8. And I think last year, teams underestimated how good the Champions League was going to be.
Yeah.
The teams finishing 9th to 24th will compete in a 2-legged knockout phase game, which is quite incredible. You will there have a home and an away tie in that game, and the teams that finish 25th or lower can get the fuck. They're not longer good enough. They can be butchered out of the competition. But real quickly, before we look into the futures buckets, did you like the new format last year?
I was a big fan. I had to make some very big adjustments from the betting standpoint because 8 games is a lot, especially when it's just 8 random opponents. We're so used to that conversation where, when it's a two-legged tie here, you got to play KG on the road and then switch. No, you got to go out and just swing for 8 games straight. What we
Yeah.
also saw was, as you mentioned, a lot of these really good teams didn't look really good. It's just tough. We had Real Madrid outside of the top 8. We had a lot of Manchester City was outside the top 8 for a while. It's just very tough to predict. There's a bit more chaos, but I love chaos, so I'm a big fan of it.
Let's not forget that the eventual winners and the current holders, Paris Saint-Germain, almost got knocked out.
Yep.
They almost missed out completely. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that they almost never made it into the top 24 teams and eventually went on to win the whole goddamn thing. So who do we think is going to win it this year? Let's have a look at the futures for you loyal listeners out there who enjoy this one. Of course, currently sitting favorites is Barcelona, who are my favorites going into this competition. But buckets, as you can see, Bayern Munich plus 1100. I managed to squeeze the screenshot all the way down to plus 6,500 for my good friend, of course, Jeff Heyman. But I want to say this out there for you. I think it's important that Bayern Munich have a good season this year. Who's your favorite?
It's so important. I'm historically, and I know this sounds dumb, but you know this, I like to not really back Bayern Munich a lot because I don't like having my heart broken and my wallet broken. But I like them at plus 1100 here. Barcelona are the favorites, and that makes sense. They look terrifying. They're not playing their starters, and they're still winning 6-0 in league games right now. But Barcelona, Olise is class. Luis
Yeah.
Diaz is immediately fitting in with the squad. Kane, if he's going to be leaving after the season, he wants to finish on a high note. This could be the year for Bayern Munich. So I have already bet on them at plus 1100.
Oh, you already went at plus 1100.
I'm
That's
in.
pretty interesting. I mean, obviously, Arsenal will be there or thereabouts. Liverpool look very good. They've strengthened immensely. Paris Saint-Germain have looked a little tired after Club World Cup final, plus the Champions League final. Very long season for them. I think it'll be very difficult to repeat it. Obviously, if you're looking for a team who enjoys a competition, look at the world champions, Chelsea, currently sitting at plus 1,200. Buckets, they've got a great squad. They did well in the Club World Cup. Is it possible we could see Chelsea win the whole thing?
I really don't want to see that because my friend Tom, who's a Chelsea fan, is just such a jackass. And I'm tired of him telling me, world champs, world champ. I don't want to see that. This might be a bit of a sneaky one for you here, Ian. I don't even see it. Oh, I do see it on the list. Plus 5,000 Juventus. Maybe worth a sprinkle there. If Yildiz continues to play how he is, Jonathan David looks really good with his squad. I kind of like them as my dark horse as well.
You can also randomly have a pop at the futures play of which nationality that the winner will be. So if you're looking for a team from England, it's currently sitting at plus 120, Spain plus 240, France plus 600, Germany plus 900, Italy plus 1100, and of course, any other nation outside of those five will be plus 2,800. If you were leaning in one direction and you weren't looking at Bayern Munich from winning it, which direction would you go?
I love that it's Germany, and it could just be Bayern Munich. Leverkusen and Dortmund are doing absolutely nothing in this competition. Sorry.
Oh,
I would go, sorry, Jeff. I know it's been a while, but I love you, brother. Spain at plus 240 has to be the play here. Barcelona have looked so good, and Real Madrid are Real Madrid. They show up in Champions League. I love just taking those two, even if Atletico Madrid or Athletic Club really don't do anything here.
and Atleti, they have strengthened their squad once again. And even though they've started poorly domestically, at any time they could absolutely switch it on. So who's going to win the group stage? This is where it really gets interesting, Buckets. Obviously, we're before first kick, looking forward to what's going to happen ahead of this competition. And if you're watching Wednesday, Thursday, the episode, you will also see that maybe there's been some games and surprises already. But who's going to win that group stage? I mean, Barcelona are favourites to win the group stage. Now, we need the top 8 finish, obviously, to win the whole group stage. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. You can finish first or 8th. You still achieve the same thing. You have maybe a bit more of an advantage going into the playoff structure. But it didn't prove to be valuable for Liverpool, who won the group stage last year. So, Buckets, who would you be leaning at laying a little wager on here to actually win the group stage? A lot of teams will take it seriously this year.
They absolutely will. And when you're looking at this bet, I'm looking at the teams that have the most depth because if you've already guaranteed top 8 and you're going to rotate a little bit, you want that squad that can bring in world-class players behind their starting 11. I think Chelsea at plus 1,200 is absolutely worth a shout here. The amount of talent they have and the amount of money they've spent on this squad, if they need to rest Palmer, they've still got Neto, they've still got Delap, they've still got Pedro. They've got good players to back them up. I don't hate them at plus 1,200, even though I do hate my friend Tom.
Couple of things to throw at you here when I'm looking at the top ace finish in the league for the futures play. Chelsea are minus 115 simply just to finish in the top 8. But Bayern Munich are minus 125 simply to finish in the top 8 of the league phase. That's ridiculous odds and very favorable for people who are liking something a little tasty.
That's gross odds. That shouldn't be playable type of odds. Ian, we've been doing this for years now, and I've always been the bet responsibly guy. Make sure you're being. No, Bayern Munich at minus 125 is asinine. That's a multi unit bet for me. I had not seen this yet. As soon as we finish recording, I'm dropping 2 or 3 units on that. That's a dumb line. That doesn't
It's
make sense
pretty
to me.
pretty crazy, really, isn't it? I mean, that's absolutely insane. Bayern Munich, but obviously you got to look at the schedules and how the games are actually going to play out in the Champions League. You never quite know what those
Right.
games are going to be like, how difficult they'll be home and away because home games are important, away games are also important. I think Bayern have got a favorable draw. I still think they'll finish in the top 8 easily. Who's going to be a top goal scorer? Golden Boot race last year was shared between two players. Sergio Girassi, he finished with 13 goals alongside Lewandowski. If I'm not mistaken, it was 13 goals. Who you got? You going for Gyökeres?
I absolutely love Gyökeres. For the first time this
Ooh.
year, I'm doing a fantasy Premier League, and my team name is FC Goalkeres. A nice little play on words there. I really like him at Arsenal. It's kind of a bummer to see. It's really a bummer to see players like Saka sidelined. But if he continues to struggle with his fitness, Gyökeres is going to have to be one of the best goal scorers in Champions League, or Arsenal are in a lot of trouble. So I like him at 1,400. Kane at plus 900 is always going to be a fun look as well because I do think Bayern go very far. I want to see what Olise is at. Olise has been one of my favorite players already this season to watch, and I just kind of want to bet him to do everything right now, honestly.
Yeah, listen, I'm thinking obviously Barcelona go quite deep, so I'm looking at Lewandowski and Rafinha once again to score
Yeah.
goals. Rafinha was pretty good last year. In 2025 alone, he's been outstanding so far. Let's look at the bottom of the table. Who's going to finish bottom? Because you nailed it last year. We have a team that is favorite right now, plus 150, and that is Kairat Almaty. They knocked out Glasgow Celtic in a very shocking game for Celtic. They knocked them out. And I think this is a real great story, but it's going to be very difficult for a team like that. Also, Paphos FC, they've got experience there, but a plus 1,000 might not be a bad shout as well.
Not a bad shout at all. This is the kind of thing where we are seeing some new teams, which I love with this new format, but just making it to the Champions League was their accomplishment. Kairat are going to be that team where the goal differential is like minus 45 by the time they're done with the games. They're going to get good money out of participating in this, good tourism, good whatever they need to get out of this, but they are going to get slammed by everyone. I don't
Mhm.
even think they're going to score more than a couple goals here. I think plus 150 is absolutely the shout for them.
Plus 150 is still pretty good, though. For a
It's a
team
great
like that
total.
who's just going in there, it's not a bad look to just say, you know what? I think I'm going to put more than one unit on this one because it's going to be very difficult for them to pick up a single point, let alone a victory in this whole competition. But the Champions League can spring us huge surprises. So let's get into match day one on Tuesday. Let's have a look at the fixtures. Obviously, some big games to look forward to. Athletic Club against Arsenal is a big game. Obviously, the earlier kickoff, PSV Eindhoven against Union Saint-Gilloise. Benfica against Karabakh, Juventus against Borussia Dortmund. Big game for producer Jeff's Dortmund against Juventus. That's a throwback to the 1997 final. And he didn't play in the final, but a very good friend of myself and producer Jeff, Jovan Kurowski, got a winner's medal for Borussia Dortmund after beating Juventus in the final of that game. Then we've got Real Madrid against Marseille, and we've got Tottenham against Villarreal. Any one game in particular looking forward to?
I'm so sorry, Jeff. I absolutely love the Juventus versus Dortmund squad. Dortmund on the road against an informed Juventus squad means there is money to be made there. That's the one I'm going to be watching.
Juve do look good. I agree with you.
Oh
They're
God.
very good against Inter Milan in the Derby d'Italia this past weekend. Some outstanding goals in that game as well. Wednesday's game are also pretty awesome, and I think some tasty affairs here, right? Obviously, Bayern Munich against Chelsea is the big game that you're looking forward to. You got Olympiacos, Paphos, Slavia Prague, Bodo Glimt, the earlier kickoffs. I think we can all sleep in past those games. Then Ajax against Inter. I know Jeff's obviously got some really good friends over in the Netherlands against Inter. That's going to be a big game with Inter not in great form right now. Bayern Munich against Chelsea, Liverpool against Atleti will be a banger of a game. Atleti always dangerous, and they've got Schlott against Simeone, which will be quite fun to watch. And then PSG, the holders against Atalanta. Buckets, where you going? What are you thinking?
I'm loving the Bayern Munich game, of course. I'm really excited about that PSG Atalanta game because, as you mentioned, PSG, they kind of look exhausted. And I think we're going to see really early in this campaign whether they're going to be a deep contender or whether they're going to kind of back down a little bit. And Atalanta is just a fun team to watch. So I'm expecting goals in both of those games. Liverpool's always a great shout. I'm waking up for Paphos. I don't care what anyone says. I want to support Paphos. It might not be exciting, but I'll be watching at the very least.
They got wealthy owners, Paphos, and they got some really experienced players. They've not been around for a long time at all. I think they're a brand new team, like over the last 10, 15 years. Not much history there, but it's a really cool place to go visit. And they've also got some great experience. David Luiz is playing there, believe it or not, right now as well. Atalanta, completely different coach now under Jovic. He's boring as fuck. Very frustrating to watch. So it won't be the same Atalanta as normal. But on your point about Paris Saint-Germain, you also saw Kvaratskhelia pick up an injury in their game this past weekend. And you've got Desiree Doué out. You've got Dembele already out. So there's a number of key players who are out already for PSG. So it's a slow start to the season for them already. On Thursday, some good games, some really good games to look forward to. Club Brugge against Monaco, which is a banger of a game for Monaco. Copenhagen against Leverkusen, which will be a banger of a game, as well as we see Leverkusen with a new boss on the sidelines. They've already fired their boss, which came in Ten Hag. He didn't even last to the Champions League first day, which is crazy. They already made that change. Frankfurt against Galatasaray. That is a banger of a game as well. Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, Manchester City versus Napoli. And then, of course, we've got Newcastle against Barcelona, which will be a brilliant game. Barcelona just won by 6-0 against Valencia this past weekend. Sporting against Kairat Almaty. There's your very interesting team, Kairat Almaty. First game against Sporting Lisbon. Buckets, anything up?
It's going to be ugly. I think Sporting's the biggest favorite out of any of these first match days, which is just going to be the theme for any team playing Kairat. I'm really excited for that KDB match against Manchester City. I think we're going to see goals there. And then anytime we're seeing Barcelona, I'm just going to blindly bet the over. I don't really care who the opponents are. So looking for goals there as well.
Yeah, against Newcastle as well. Great history between those two teams. I mean, it was all the way back. I think it was Newcastle with Faustino Asprilla, and they also had Alan Shearer and a few others in that team, if I'm not mistaken. And our good friend, producer Jeff, and I's good friend Warren Barton was also in that team against Barcelona back in the day, which was amazing to watch those guys compete against each other. So great history there. You know it wouldn't be an episode of Stoppage Time if we didn't get some wagers from our betting expert. That is, of course, the blonde bombshell, the betting unicorn, our John Buckets. Time! Buckets, welcome back. Are you ready to go?
I'm so fucking ready. All right, this so much.
I want some big bets from you. I'm looking at 6 bets in total. I'm looking for 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday. And if I calculate correctly, yeah, that's 6 bets I'm looking for you. So the loyal listeners are expecting you to come up with the goods here. So when you're ready, you let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll start kicking things off.
Perfect. I'm going to count down from 5, and then I'm just going to go, if that works.
You're going to count down to 5 and then hope that producer Jeff actually puts the clock up there.
Give me a second,
then
Jeff.
You can go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jeff. And there it is, baby. Welcome back to Champions League footy on FC Stoppage Time. For my first bet for the Tuesday slate, I am going against producer Jess Dortmund. Dortmund on the road is just not a team you want to back when they're playing at home at the yellow wall. Absolutely. They are a threat to absolutely everyone in this competition. But on the road, I just don't trust them. This is a team that is kind of reinventing themselves this season and defensively just is not there yet. Meanwhile, Juventus have been so good this season, coming off the Derby Italia victory. I'm going Juventus over 1.5 team total, Ian. It's plus 100 for Juve to score 2 against a weak Dortmund side. That's a bad line, right?
But you've got Juventus to win this game.
Absolutely.
Juventus on the money line currently sitting at plus 105 at home against Borussia Dortmund and their leaky defense. Would you take it?
100%.
There you have it. Bet number 1 in the books. Boom! All right, let's go to your second best bet of the Champions League buckets for the games that are taking place on Tuesday.
I'm giving us all a second bet for the same matchup because I don't trust Dortmund that much at all. Producer Jeff here. Sticking with Juventus taking on Dortmund, but this time I wanted more than even money. I wanted plus 155, which is what you can get if you bet on Kenan Yildiz to score or assist at plus 155. That line seems a bit off to me for a guy that in his first 3 starts already has 3 assists and 1 goal. The amount of just attackers this Juventus squad has that he can link up with. If he wants to give Jonathan David the ball, Jonathan David has the ball. If he wants to score himself, he can score himself. Dusan Vlahovic off the bench. Too many attacking options here, and Kenan Yildiz has been imperative to the squad. I got to take it, Ian.
All right, let me just throw something else out at you. The Golden Boot winner from last year was Serhou Guirassy with 13 goals in the Champions League. He's currently sitting at plus 175. Do Dortmund get a goal in this game, and would you take that play?
They do, but just one.
Ooh, interesting. All right, Buckets, let's turn our attention to Wednesday's game in the Champions League. We'll go for bet number 1. Take it away.
FC Bayern, forever number 1. But not defensively. Bayern Munich taking on Chelsea. You gotta believe we are going to see a lot of goals in this one. Bayern Munich look incredible on the attack, but come on, guys, this is Bayern Munich. They're gonna concede some sloppy goal against Division 3 Verein Wiesbaden, so of course they're gonna concede to Chelsea. I hope and I pray that Bayern Munich get the victory and grab all 3 points, but I don't trust them enough to bet the money line. What I do trust is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -110. Maybe it's 4-1, maybe it's 2-2. I don't really care. Give me goals and give me chaos in this one. We have to see goals here, right, Ian?
Yeah, I agree there's going to be goals in this game, and I do think that Bayern Munich have got to go and try and finish in the top 8 of the Champions League group stage. Now, Bayern getting off to a good start, I think, could potentially happen. If they were to win the first half alone, it's currently sitting at plus 105. Would you have a sniff at that?
I'd have a little bit of a sniff at that.
Ooh, sniffer. Best bet number 2 of Wednesday's games in the Champions League. It is back, Buckets. Go ahead.
This is a bit of a tough game to bet on because we have so many big teams and big names and big fixtures, but sometimes you find money when you're betting on the not so big teams. Olympiacos taking on Paphos. This is a game that a lot of people might or might not be watching, but if you don't watch it, you're gonna miss out on some money to be made. My best bet for this game is simply this: Paphos to score a goal. Not both teams to score, not over 2.5, nothing crazy. Paphos just to score is -120. In all 3 of their qualifying rounds when they played on the road, Paphos scored a goal against Dynamo Kiev, against Maccabi Tel Aviv, and against Celtic. This is a team, against Crvena Zvezda, not Celtic. Let me fix that one. This is a team that knows how to stay in this competition, that knows how to go for something here, and they have to go for goals because they are going to concede against every single team they play. I think they get one here.
Both teams to score is currently sitting at plus 105.
Yeah, I like that too.
Stoppage time after dark. Gotta love it.
It's late, man.
All right, Buckets, let's go to the Champions League best bet number 1 for Thursday's games. It's kind of weird saying Thursday, but take it away.
Thursday's best bet number 1, Newcastle versus Barcelona. And I frankly do not care who Barcelona's opponent is. I don't care if they're on the road. I don't care if they're at home. I don't care if they're playing their best start. This Barcelona squad is going to devastate every single team they play. Barcelona over 1.5 team total is a little bit juicy. It's -130, but considering I think they're going to score 3 or 4 goals here, I don't care taking that juice here. Newcastle lost Alexander Isak. That doesn't affect their defense, but it's going to affect them mentally because they have to withstand the best attack in all of Europe. Full stop here, Ian. I think Barcelona run them over.
Okay, but if Newcastle do score a goal, you would have to imagine it's going to come from the German Nick Woltemade, currently sitting at plus 155 anytime goal scorer. He's 7'9". He's got big blonde hair, and he was playing 4th division football about 4 years ago. Does he have a chance of getting a goal?
He has a chance. He should be in Munich, but he has a chance.
He kind of looks like you.
He does. He's a bigger version of me, which is crazy.
All right, Buckets, best bet number 2 for Thursday's Champions League games. Let's go.
We're going to the big one here. Manchester City hosting Napoli. And I almost wanted to do the IPJ Superstar bet here, but the lines were good enough that I didn't have to still get even money. Erling Haaland to score is plus 100 at home in Champions League in the form he's in. I know it's a bit of a mental battle seeing KDB across the pitch from him and everything, but 11 goals in his last 6 matches for club and country. If this is ever even money, I don't care who they're playing. I have to bet it. And I think that's just a rule at this point, right, Ian?
I mean, the guy scored a ridiculous amount of goals already to start the season. I think it's like 13 or 14 goals for club and country. He just scored 5 in one game for his national team. Can I throw a little spanner in the works here? Kevin De Bruyne, anytime goal scorer, currently sitting at plus 500.
Oh, come on. You have to...
Free kick?
Free kick. Yeah, no, you have to play that. You get the... Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. Good job, everyone.
Okay, it's well done, well done, well done. It's good to be
Hey!
back. It's a little bit late at night, so it's obviously unusual for us to be recording. We haven't recorded an episode for a very long time, so it's nice to be back. We're having some fun here. I hope everybody's enjoying the show as well. Obviously, a big shout out to our producer Jeff, because he's been incredibly busy over the summer. He's been working his magic. He's been doing a lot of different shows and working in a lot of games and things like that. So he's active, and we're back now. So we're going to bother him for our production quality, and I'm sure he's enjoying the fact that we're back again to keep him busy, and also as we continue to grow this project ahead of the World Cup. You never fucking know where the show is going to end up. But Buckets, it's great to be back, man, and it's great to have an opportunity to chat with you before we do get out of here, because the Champions League back. You're coming into CBS Sports Galazzo Network in Connecticut, which is going to be awesome because I'm going to get to see you face to face. We'll take some pictures. Maybe we'll shoot some content for stoppage time while you're in the studio as well. Are you up for something like that?
Absolutely. I'm just going to absorb everything I possibly can while I'm in Connecticut. I want to do as many shows and as much content as I can because it's Champions League. And it's you and me together in person. That doesn't happen enough.
No, it's pretty cool. And Champions League days, especially around Paramount Plus and CBS Sports and the Galazzo Network, they're big days. They're hugely popular. They are actively busy. There's so many people, lots of food flying around, and people actively doing shows, cutting in and out, running back and forth from studio. Production teams going crazy. A lot of content's being recorded, and the shows are always on point. It's always absolutely fantastic to be involved in the Champions League. So it's kind of great to have you up in the studio as well. But tell us a little bit about your morning footy experience with CBS Sports Galazzo Network so far, because it seems to me like you fit in incredibly well with the group.
I think I'm doing pretty well with the group. There's some tough people on there. I know we've talked about this before. I've been doing early edge with the Sportsline team for CBS now for almost 4 years, and I'm always the only soccer guy, so no one ever questions anything, which can be a problem in itself because no one's ever being buckets. Are you sure about that? Everyone on morning footy
Mhm.
knows everything about football, so I have to be smarter, which is a good thing. It pushes me to be a better personality. It pushes me to know more about the game. But all in all, they've been very accepting. I know the producers having a bit of fun because they've learned pretty early that I'm a bit off is the nice way I'll say it about myself. So some good
Different.
banter, some good jokes, different, a little bit weird, but we're having a great time with it so far.
I like how you said I'm a little bit off.
Have you
People
seen
can
the?
take that in many different directions,
That's,
by the way.
I'm just weird. That's all it is.
It's okay. It's good to be weird, man. We're all weird in our own unique individual ways. That's why we're so fucking good at our jobs and how cool we are and interesting to humans. We can relate to everybody out there. So listen, a word of advice for everybody out there. Please bet responsibly. It is the Champions League. It is the group stage. A lot of surprises can eventually happen there. So please be smart. But I will also let you know that we're probably not going to record as many shows as we did do last year. We were very active. The newsletter was going out. It was crazy, and it was too much for producer Jeff, who worked his magic. And until we actually get that partner on board and until we get some money behind us, it's going to be very difficult to maintain. So we're going to try and do the show as much as we can for you, but it most likely will just be around the Champions League this season, as we head closer into 2026. And hopefully we find a partner. And listen, if we don't, we're going to try and find a way to keep the show going. But at some point, Buckets is on CBS Sports Galazzo Network. He's doing stuff around me, and we're doing stuff on the network as well. So you will see us around and about doing our thing. But I do think it's the smartest play to play for everybody out there is that we don't go too crazy, because we want to make sure that the show is obviously top quality. We don't want to burn everybody out. And Buckets is busy. Producer Jeff is obviously actively doing his thing. And I'm also busy as fuck as well. Buckets, I'm going to Switzerland next month.
Oh my gosh, why? Oh, can you say why?
No, not going to say why, but
Huh?
it's going to be fun. It's a good experience for me. Not only am I obviously throwing another thing into my life, I am obviously working on my television thing. I'm doing multiple deals and opportunities with television, which I love. I'm going to be at CBS for a number of more years as well. It's my 6th year at
Wow.
CBS Sports, which is quite impressive for me. It's more than any other network I've been at. It was 3 years at beIN Sports, 5 years just about at Fox Sports with producer Jeff, and now 6 years now, going into my 6th year at CBS Sports. I couldn't be more proud. But the fact that you're now on Galazzo Network with me is quite special, mate.
Let me ask you this. First of all, congratulations on 6 years. That's incredible and is so deserved. My
Thank you.
question for you: first time The only time I've ever been in studio was when we did Stoppage Time like 2 years ago when I went to New York. This will be my first time in studio since then. One piece of advice, I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious. What's one piece of advice you can give me as I come up for a massive Champions League day?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm different from everybody else. Okay, because and the loyal listeners know out there, and producer Jeff knows this because obviously he was one of the main producers at Fox Sports while I was there across multiple projects. We worked together. I don't give a fuck. I just be myself. And that's always been my advice to everybody who comes into the television studio in front of a camera. Be yourself. Don't change. Don't try to be somebody else. Always just go out there and be authentic, because I think that's why people connect with us on Stoppage Time, is we are authentically ourselves. They can relate to us in some way. We're just normal people. I think when you're in the studio doing your thing, it's always interesting because we all have hot takes in some way. But anything I say is what I feel. If I don't feel it, I'm not going to make it up. I don't just say shit for the sake of it. I say it with everything I've got. Every last ounce of energy and passion is going into my comment or my commentaries or whatever I'm saying in studio. You're going to get the best of me because I thoroughly believe in everything I'm saying that's coming out of my mouth. Don't let anyone change you from that perspective. So go in, be yourself, because you're a beautiful human, man, and you deserve this opportunity. Don't cry.
I'm not going to fucking cry. I won't do it. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. Wonderful advice.
All right, it's about time for us to get the hell out of here because producer Jeff said keep this under 30 minutes and we are already 1 minute and 59 seconds above that. Much love to everybody. Thank you so much for everything. Being patient with us. Obviously, the loyal listeners, we know we've been with you for a number of years now. We're getting closer to another World Cup, which means that we've always been together for 4 years, which is absolutely wild. We've been paid for about 2 years of those 4, but for the year and a half we haven't been paid. It's been quite fun as well. But just like Buckets is going to do in the Champions League this weekend, please make sure you absolutely have it.